Have you heard right now there are a number of issues concerning the security of using Zoom? My name's Angie King from Getting IT Together, and in this short video I'd like to address how you can protect yourself, your meeting, your participants from what is commonly being referred to as Zoom bombing. Now, Zoom bombing is where people are joining your meeting unexpectedly, uninvited, and sharing pornography or maybe putting nasty messages in the chat, for example. There are a number of things that you can do to stop this from happening. So A, you can set up settings within Zoom itself so that you're protecting yourself. And the next one is within the meeting itself, there are a number of additional options that you can do. So let me share my screen and I'll show you exactly which settings you can set on or off to protect yourself. So first of all, you'll notice that I actually have Zoom set up. And the first thing to be very aware of is always use Zoom from within the browser rather than using the client. This is a lot safer at the moment. So typing in zoom.us rather than going to your resources and using the Zoom client. The next part I'd like to show you is, let's look at these settings. So if I go to my account over on the right hand side and then choose settings on the left hand pane, you'll see that we have a number of different settings. So I'm just going to scroll through and just talk about them in order of which ones exactly you can turn on or off depending to protect yourself. Now, the first one of these, as I scroll through, is the join before host. Now, what happens if you have join before host on? That means that you are allowing your participants to join your meeting before you get there. So you actually don't know who is going to be in that meeting before you arrive. Just as an additional security, whenever you are running a meeting, do not put out the Zoom link anywhere in the big wide world. So if you're running an event, say on Facebook, don't put the Zoom link for people to join you. Let people contact you, let them opt into something and send them a private message or a private email which has the Zoom link. The other thing to do is, when you're sending an email, don't broadcast it out to your entire list saying, don't worry about signing in, just come anytime into this particular Zoom link. So at the moment, just be very careful where you're placing or pasting out your Zoom links. All right, so as we're just having a look at the settings, coming back to settings, the first one here was to join before host. So make sure that that is turned off. The next part of security is to make sure that you look at having passwords. So giving people passwords that they can use when they're joining your meetings. So there's a number of different options here that you have that allows you to set them on the passwords. The third one to set up is the actual file transfers. So I'm just scrolling down a little bit and you'll notice that there is an area that talks about file transfers. So we actually want to have the file transfers turned off. So that way, nobody has the capacity or the ability to share a file in the chat, because at the moment, if someone is bombing or putting things in, you don't know what information is going to be placed in that chat. The next one to look at is screen sharing. So I'll scroll again and you'll notice that I have screen sharing on, but I'm actually allowing all participants to share. At the moment, the best option is to have you as the host only and then click on save. Now, obviously this depends on what you are doing, but this right now is the safest, is to just have it so that nobody else in that meeting is able to share. All right, scrolling down again, the next one is to allow removed participants to rejoin. When you are in a meeting, you are actually able to remove somebody, and I'll show you how you can do that in a minute when we get back into the meeting. But this is allowing it, so having it turned off, it means that you are not allowing anybody that you have removed to be able to rejoin the meeting. And the next one to look at, and the last one here, is to look at what they call as a waiting room. So waiting rooms are in Meeting Advanced, And you'll notice here that you can have the meeting room turned on. All right, by default, it's actually turned off. Now, what this does is that you have a meeting, and so you start your meeting, but anybody who joins before or joins after, they join into the waiting room. So it's like another holding place that they sit into, and then you have the ability to allow them to join one by one, or you have the ability to let everyone join all at once. This is really a handy feature actually if you're running something like a summit and you've got a couple of speakers. You can have you and the speaker, and then the additional speakers as they're coming in can be going into the waiting room. And then when you want the next speaker to talk to and to interview, to chat with, you can then bring that speaker live into your Zoom session. So just think that the waiting room is a great feature. So make sure that you have it turned on. All right, and at this point for everybody, for all guests, all participants. Okay, so that's really having a look at the settings that you can do beforehand. So just to recap those settings, they were to turn off the join before host, to make sure that your passwords have been set, to disable the file transfer feature, to make sure that screen sharing is only for the host, and to make sure then that you turn off the feature that enables people to join if they've been removed, and lastly to turn on the waiting room. So I'm now going to stop my share and I'll be back with you again in a moment. Hi, so I'm back again to the screen, and what I want to show you is how does the meeting room work. So you'll notice on my screen that I have a participant who actually is wanting to join my meeting. And so it's come up saying that they're actually in the waiting room waiting for me to join them. So if I click on admit, I can then allow them to join my meeting. Perfect. So hi Sue-Ann. So once the participant is in your meeting, the next thing you can do is you can actually lock the meeting. So basically what that does is if you go to participants and then the participant screen will come up, under more on the left hand side you'll be able to click on lock meeting. What that does is it means that nobody else can actually join your particular meeting. And the last thing I wanted to show you was how do you remove somebody. So if you have somebody in the meeting and you really don't want them there, you can remove them, and it's very easy. You go to the person, clicking on the three dots on the top right hand side, and you'll notice that the second option from the bottom says remove. So I'm going to click on remove. I'm going to say bye to Sue-Ann because she's about to leave. So thank you for joining me for this short period, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Sue-Ann. Bye. So that's how easy it was to add those additional security features within Zoom itself. The first of those was the waiting room, so allowing others to hop into that waiting room, and then you have control over when you admit them or let them into your meeting. The next feature was how you can lock a meeting. So once all the participants have arrived, you were able to stop anybody else joining you. And the last feature then was how to remove someone if you don't want them. So I hope this meeting has been of value to you. Please comment below, please like and share the meeting to get this information out to as many people as we can right now. Zoom, I know, are working on getting the security in place, but these are some measures that we can do right now to protect ourselves. And if you are watching this on YouTube, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel so that you can receive lots of tips and videos and techniques so that you can get your business online quickly, simply, and easily without the stress and overwhelm. Have the most amazing and abundant day, and I will talk to you again next time. Bye.